Hi everyone, it's Mo here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Game week 10 is done. Red arrow, green arrow, regardless, you cannot control that game week. They're gone. What you can control and be ready for is game week 11. And in this video, I'm going to help you prepare for game week 11 to try and ensure you get that green arrow. Now, before we get into the video, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to like, subscribe, share this video with any other FPL manager you think is going to enjoy this content. I'd really appreciate that. All right. Let's get into it. First thing you're going to want to do is look at your team. Now, it seems pretty obvious. Of course, we're going to look at our team. We're FPL managers. We're obsessed over our teams. But what I mean by that is start looking at your teams and start looking for weaknesses, areas you want to strengthen and target, or in my case, for injuries. Now, if you're scanning through my team, I can immediately see I've got Neto and I've got Lamptey. What do you want to do? You want to go get updates on their injuries and see when they're going to be back. This could really influence the transfers you make. So I'll give you an example. For me, I've already checked on Neto. It's a hamstring injury. It looks a pretty bad one, and he's been having an excellent season, so I'm really gutted. Especially in my case, he's a super enabler who's allowed me to have like Saka, Son, Darwin, Haaland, everyone basically. So it's a big loss for me. And when you look at my bench, I don't really have anyone that can play. So this becomes top priority for me. So he's top of my list. More than likely, he's going to be my main transfer. But I've also got Lamptey, which won't be top priority. He could be third bench. I mean, my whole bench is terrible, but at the end of the day, I cannot prioritize a -4 for a bench player. No. So I'm scanning. I've seen my injuries. That's already confirmed my next move. I've got no choice. If you're in a position where you don't have no injuries, of course, you get the luxury of targeting just the weak links and look forward for the players with the best fixtures and where you can gain them points. That's all you need to be thinking about right now. Don't worry about anything else. But also, don't make dumb moves yet. Don't. No. Again, sounds obvious advice, but you'd be surprised how many react, especially after a bad game week. If you've had a big red arrow, sometimes you don't even want to look at your team. I've been there, trust me, where I've made moves, just rage moves, and I've been playing this game for a long time. But you don't want to do that. And why don't you want to do that? Well, here's an example. You have midweek games. Now, this week we've got the EFL Cup. And now, if you look before, this wouldn't mean too much of a worry for you, but now we do need to pay attention a bit more. Why is that? It's getting to the latter stages. Teams now can start seeing the trophy and start seeing the semi-final final. And albeit it's the fourth priority trophy, at the end of the day, it's still silverware. So if we look at some of the matchups, for example, straight away I can look at and see West Ham v Arsenal. West Ham, after that European success last year, will try and add another trophy. Why not? But they've got a hard fixture. They've got Arsenal. Now, normally Arsenal could play their B team and almost guarantee a win, but against West Ham, maybe not. So the managers will be bluffing each other to see who plays the stronger team. But I can guarantee you'll see a couple of players within our FPL teams playing in this game. Someone like Gabriel, for example, might get the minutes as he was rested in the last game. So it's definitely something you want to watch and just assess and don't make no moves, because you could pick up injuries or you might get just more information which enhances the transfers you want to bring in. So definitely something worth watching. Bournemouth v Liverpool. Then we've got Ipswich v Fulham. Nothing to worry about there. Most of us shouldn't have any of them Fulham players. Then you've got Chelsea v Blackburn, Everton v Burnley, another Premier League matchup there. And then we've got Manchester United v Newcastle. This one's very significant. A lot of us have Newcastle players. Some still have United players. And you could get injuries. I fancy both of those teams to play very, very strong teams. Why is that? Well, Manchester United come off a bad loss to Manchester City, their derby. And it was not good enough. The cloud is there. The bad press is there. Ten Hag is getting roasted. They're going to need some confidence back into this team. So I see him playing a really strong team here. And again, he's not sure what Eddie Howe's going to do. And if Eddie Howe plays full power and they give Man United a beating, that actually could be the end. Like the tide could really turn. The fans are most probably 50-50 at the moment. Some are unsure where this is going, this project is going, but a bad result there, honestly, could really sway the fan base. So that's why I say to you, significant, not just for injury updates, but information as well. You really will get like good information from the midweek fixtures. So that's the reason you don't make early moves. But again, there's something else we need to consider. Price rises. Now, if you're in a good position where you've got good money in the bank, your team value is excellent, you can afford a couple of plus 0.1s here and there, then you're lovely. You wait for the press conferences, you wait for the EFL Cup to go, then you make your moves. You use the week just to watch, assess, and plan. Nothing else. You don't need to itch and go early. No chance. Again, if you're in a position like me, if you look at my team, I've got 0.0 in the bank. I'm in a bad position here. All my money's invested in the starting 11. This means I'm removing Neto. I've only got Neto money to replace him. Now, if the player I want to get is the exact same price, and even though they're playing, say I'm targeting Gordon, and Gordon's playing in EFL Cup against United, I've just said don't go early, but I've got to weigh that up against me losing my top target, and because he goes up in price, versus me going to another target who maybe I don't really want. So this is again where it's a very, very tricky one. It's one of the few scenarios where I would say, okay, you could go early if you're like me and got 0.0. So from my perspective, I will be watching this very, very carefully. I said to you already a minute ago, I'm considering Gordon. Even though he's got Arsenal a difficult fixture, I'm not worried about that. I like him as a replacement for Neto at that price, and allows me to keep all my star big premium players in my team. So again, keep an eye on the price rises if you're very, very tight with budget. If not, ignore it. All it does is clouds your transfer strategy. Honestly, that's my strategy with this. Now, after this, last thing for us remaining to do is sort out our bust team. Now, from my perspective, you've already seen I've got no bench. You might have a bench, so you definitely need to look at the best fixtures, and put out the best players. And then really the last choice you've got is your captain. So for me, if you see it, I've got Areola versus, is it Brentford? Yep. Burn versus Arsenal. Difficult fixture, especially for the people that are doubled up in the Newcastle defence. That's not ideal, but you might be fortunate and have a good bench to replace one of them. Then I've got Cash with a lovely fixture. So the Aston Villa players, they've got Nottingham Forest away. Good fixture. Tsimikas, so my Liverpool triple up, Tsimikas, Salah and Darwin all got a lovely fixture. They've got Luton away. I'm really excited about that triple up there. So Neto, I already said a minute ago, he won't be there, so I'm going to have to replace him. I've got Saka playing Newcastle, tough fixture, but I don't plan on moving any of them. If you've got them, you just play them. Then I've got Son versus Chelsea, not ideal. So this game week already, I'm not too excited. Not like the last game week where I saw the matchups were all lovely. The fixtures just came really, really nice. This game week, they're looking pretty tricky. Watkins got a nice fixture, albeit he blanked in the last one where a lot of people captained him. But look, it happens. If you don't worry about him, you keep him in your team. And then Haaland with a plump fixture versus Bournemouth. Now, a lot of us are going to captain him for this game. It's at home. City don't lose at home. I swear it's 22 games straight wins if you include all competitions. They're formidable. You just saw what they've done to United when they turn up. And if they turn up in this game, you expect 5 goals. So the last step for me is my captain. I've currently got it on Salah, but I could move that to Haaland. That's going to go down to the wire. EFL, as I said, Cup could help us, and the press conferences come the Friday. So that's where I'm at the moment. That's my thinking going forward in the game week, preparing for game week 11. Now, let me know if you do the exact same thing or you do something completely different. Do you just switch off and log back into the app come the day before? I'm really keen and interested to know what you do and how different it is from what I do. That's my process for getting ready for the next game week. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you find it useful. Now, before you jump off the video, I want you to like, subscribe, and again, share it with any other FPL managers you think might enjoy this content. If any feedback, any questions, please put them in the comments. I will 100% get back to you. Now, on that note, I wish you good luck and I'll see you in the next video.